the tortoises have got a little, how can we say, active during the warmer months.
Happy Friday! Before we go any further, please like and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And like and follow us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to tweet.
And also, don't forget it's Friday, Instagram Day.
Please.
Let's all remember Instagram. I remember Instagram when it first started.
Now, I'm going to stop her because everyone gets so incredibly bored with this, Sherry. We love you, but the Instagram story cannot go on for the next 6 years. Anyway, it's Dress Up Friday, and I have got on a dress with sort of butterflies.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's really pretty. I bought it online. Unfortunately, it's so long that it has a train behind it. So I'm going to have to get it. But it also took about 12 weeks to arrive. But I love it. It's very pretty and very nice to wear. Tell me, Miss Anderson, what are you wearing today? What have you come as?
Excuse me, hashtag Rapunzel. Let's start with that.
Hashtag Gigi, actually. So you see, on Wednesday, I dressed as a French lady, which nobody actually commented on, for Alola. So this is my French week, actually. My French week. So I am now Gigi today. And I would like to show you this lovely dress, which is very French, but it's actually from Little Bit of You, which is a fabulous website, fabulous company who do amazing clothes, very high quality. But this dress is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Okay,
sit down now.
Thank you. Lovely. Well, the thing is, that's right. So, it is French. It is a French week for me. And Sherry, tell me.
Well, I'm also a little bit of UD, but I'm in red. I can't show you the bottom because I can't. Cause it's got it. Those are the sleeves, and that's the bottom of the dress as well.
How long
it's lovely.
It's so pretty.
How long
and you
is
can
it?
get it in black and blue and pink. So
How long is it?
Sorry?
How long is it?
It's just below my knee.
Can't you stand on the chair?
It's lovely.
Really, no.
Please don't make us stand
Do you
on
know
a
what?
chair.
I haven't got a chair. I don't have a chair.
What do you sit on?
I don't sit. I
She
stand
stands.
24 hours a day. Yes, you see. So yes, Steve, little bit of you.
That's
Me
right.
too.
Lovely. Excellent.
Lovely. Come on, Harriet, tell us what you've come as or who you've come as.
Do you see how she phrases that? Margaret, did you hear that? First of all, that's what I want to say. I have been, as Gabby Rosden would say, shopping in my wardrobe. And I've just got, and also, this is also from a lovely friend of mine, a hand-me-down. I don't know if you have certain friends who hand you down things. And it's of the most divine, sparkly top. There we go. And some glittery earrings, like Debbie. And that's my Dress Up Friday, darlings.
And are you putting it back in the wardrobe after this show then?
Well, yes. Oh, no, I'm going to spend the whole of Friday in it, obviously. Once I'm here.
I mean, really, Harriet, you could have done better. But anyway, let's carry on with the show.
See, the bitterness. Margaret, the bitterness. Anyway, more importantly, we have today Dr. Scott Miller from Vet on the Hill, Channel 4, who is coming into the nest this morning to talk to us.
Hello.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott. Driving to the Wonderbirds nest this morning. We love your show so much. I wanted to ask you, what was it? You have such a diversity in all the animals that you have looked after because you're not initially from here. Two things. What was the moment when you really knew you wanted to be a vet? And what is your favourite animal?
Okay, well, yes, I'm well picked up the fact that I haven't got an English accent. So yes, originally from Australia. My parents are both English, however, so I was lucky enough to have a British passport, and that's why I'm here amongst you wonderful people. I first knew I wanted to be a vet at the age of 7, so I was actually really lucky.
How? What happened? What was the moment?
So we were camping in the outback, in the middle of nowhere, 360 degrees of red nothing, and I got out of bed, got out of the tent very early, popped my head out, and I could see on the horizon there was a little bunny. And I thought, well, you know, I'm by myself. I'm going to see how close I could get to it. And so I started walking and didn't move. And then I started to crawl and it didn't move. And then I got really close and actually put my finger out and its nose touched my finger. And it's one of those moments where, oh, wow, that's incredible. This real, you know, moment, this sort of almost religious experience, turning around going, oh, you know, there's no one to tell. But it touched me so deeply that I just knew that I always wanted to work with animals, and it just went from there.
Amazing. And what's your favourite animal that you've worked with or cared for?
Yeah, so I was very lucky last week to have met them in that I went down to the Aspinall Foundation at Port Lim and met their gorillas. Gorillas have always been a real favourite of mine, I think.
Why? Is it the sort of connection they have when they look into your eyes? What is it about them?
Yeah. I mean, they're just magnificent, aren't they? But I think what's incredible is their ability to be powerful, but actually they're extremely gentle. And I think to be able to show that level of restraint is a beautiful thing. I think they're a real enigmatic animal, and just so important to remain.
We had in our country we had a very, very famous gorilla called Guy, who was in the London. Do you remember Guy the gorilla?
London Zoo.
I used to go because at that time, you know, you didn't think about zoos. But when now thinking back, and he used to sit in his cage, and everybody who walked by, he'd poke his finger through, and you think now you know why. Mm-hmm. You know, he was he could get outside, but it was very small, and there were.
It's so different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The zoos are so different. London Zoo has completely changed, and it's all about protecting the species. But I just wondered, you were on GMTV, weren't you, with that?
So that's this morning. So yeah, I've worked for This Morning for many years. They're a great bunch of people, and luckily lately I've been entrusted to go and do some live crosses. So I'm sort of all over the country. It's interesting you mentioned about zoos, because obviously zoos were struggling during the pandemic. They weren't open, and they've got huge food bills to pay for. So I was sent up to Chester Zoo to just basically try and advocate for their opening. And the very next week, Boris said it was okay for them to open, which was wonderful. But it's true that what you say as well, zoos have gone from a place of incarceration of animals to one of their only safe places. And certainly there's a number of zoos and wildlife reserves and parks across the UK that are actually working to not only breed these endangered species, but then repatriate them back to the wild. And that's just such an incredible thing to have happening.
I have one of my friends who's got the big cat sanctuary.
Oh,
Steve Sampson.
Yeah.
And he does exactly that. He's been breeding cats in order to get them back. And it's wonderful when you go there, because you know, you see they're training them to catch meat, and they're training them how to be wild. It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no, it is really special. And they, like the Aspinall Foundation, they've got a bit of land in the Congo, and they've released some of the animals that are, you know, British. Hopefully they don't have an accent, but they've gone over, and they've actually then gone on to breed in the wild. So from captive born to producing wild young, it is extraordinary.
It's something I would have loved to have been involved with. All my life, I've loved to have been involved in conservation. Can I ask you something, Scott, which really disturbed me yesterday? There was an article about in this lockdown, the amount of dogs that are sold and bought. And you'd think, wouldn't you, we'd all think about this and have rescue dogs and, you know, I mean, rather than go and buy them, and just to understand what's happened. But it's a big problem now, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, I've personally seen at my practices in Southwest London a number of cases where puppies have come in and they're incredibly unwell. They're far too young. I had one puppy that came in. I heard it. It was walking down the stairs with one of my nurses. It was making this crying noise, and I thought, oh, geez, you know, this must be an injured puppy. Looked at it straight away and went, that puppy's not injured. It's literally making that young screaming noise, which is, I really want my mum. The owner had come in, said this dog had been sold to them and it wasn't eating, it wasn't drinking. And I went to the nurses, can someone make me up a bottle, please? I gave it a bottle of milk and it started to drink. So like that is
Oh.
just horrible behavior. This
Fabulous.
puppy was sold as a 9-week-old puppy. It's actually only about 5 weeks.
Yes.
We've seen another couple of cases similar, another puppy that had had parvovirus because it wasn't being vaccinated. And the unfortunate thing about the pandemic is that people have used it as a smokescreen to get away with this, unscrupulous sale of young puppies, because they've been able to use it to go, well, sorry, you can't come into the house and you can't come and meet mum.
Yeah.
We're gonna deliver it to you because we're such nice people. We're going to make sure that you don't come to us, or we bring it to you. So there's all these people picking up puppies on like services and roadsides, and
Yes.
it's just like people, it's being taken advantage of. And then the one thing I love about the Great British public is their love of animals and their big hearts. But unfortunately, if you wear your heart on your sleeve when it comes to buying a puppy for an unscrupulous breeder, you'll see where it's come from in poor circumstance. You'll see that it's not being given any love or attention. It's just being seen as a commodity. And so unfortunately, many of us go, you know what, I will rescue it from that circumstance.
Yes.
But unfortunately, what that does is it propagates that behavior and that sale process.
But now we've got lockdown. Lockdown isn't over. Won't it be more difficult? Because we'll have all these dogs and animals everywhere. Now nobody wants.
Exactly. I was going to say, I've been trying to get a rescue for a long time throughout lockdown, because I know that where I work, I can take the dog with me. But I think, is it going to affect it a lot once people come out of lockdown? Having the dogs having anxiety, separation anxiety.
Yeah, so there's a number of challenges that the rescue community is facing here in the UK. Initially, it was because of lockdown, they're unable to do the home visits they would normally do to ensure that this rescue dog has the best chance at a forever home. So because they're unable to do that, and then they were unable to actually see people to sort of vet them, as it were, rescue dogs were remaining in rescue shelters. Now, a lot of people were then fostering them. So there was some wonderful work being done in the background, and these people are just absolute saints to me. But you're absolutely right in that a couple of issues that occurred during lockdown is absolutely everyone saw the same thing, is what a perfect time to get a dog. I can have my sort of, my maternity, paternity, pupternity leave in order to look after the dog. But actually, it's meant that a lot of these dogs are going to be antisocial, because it's a really important window of opportunity up to 16 weeks to make sure that the dog realizes it's a dog and there's other dogs around.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we've been giving advice, and certainly on this morning, one of the key issues was not that you can pick up the virus from your dog, but your dog can act as a surface for the virus. So if I take my dog, if I have coronavirus, I take my dog for a walk, I cough on my dog, someone pats my dog, or their dog touches my dog, and then they touch their dog in their face, they can get the virus. So the recommendations coming from the British Veterinary Association was that actually we shouldn't be letting dogs in close contact, and certainly not patting other people's dogs. You can imagine in that small window of time, there's a whole generation of puppies that are going to be growing up antisocial.
I've had two lots of puppies by accident, but
not yourself personally, obviously,
but I mean, having brought up puppies, and actually have, a friend of mine who actually runs a rescue said that they were the most beautiful puppies, and they're fantastic, and they've gone to friends' homes and everything else, but they're beautiful. But I absolutely love, I used to hate puppies because I used to think they were so difficult. I always had rescues, but having given birth to puppies myself, I'm actually mad about puppies now. But tell me, how many animals have you got yourself at home?
So I class my children as animals. So I have 4 of them. And then I've also got 2 dogs, 2 cats, 3 tortoises, and 3 chickens. So we have a very, very busy arc of a house.
Do they mix? Do they all mix together?
So they all mix together very well. Everyone gets on very well. The dogs that I've got a 14-year-old border terrier who is called Betty, who I've had since a puppy. I actually wrote a book called Puppy Parenting about bringing her up, because we're vets and we learn about the medical side, and we do learn a bit about behaviour, but actually going through the parenting of a puppy at that early stage, it learns so much, and you can relate to clients' concerns regarding bringing up puppies. But then also my other dog, Scully, her full name is Skull Crusher, that because the kids got the chance to name her, and that went down badly with my wife, whose dog it was supposed to be. But actually, I was filming the second series of Vet on the Hill, my show on Channel 4, and we were doing a cesarean at about 4 in the morning, and her and her 5 brothers and sisters came popping out. And so I was the first one to hold her, and then the owners were so grateful that they gave her to us as a present.
Oh, how lovely!
And what breed is she?
So she's a Bichon cross toy poodle, just sort of little white fluffy dogs, but she's an absolute delight. Yeah.
Oh,
And do they get along with tortoises?
Yeah, they do. Although I tell you what, lately, I've had some swift parenting to perform, because the tortoises have got a little, how can we say, active during the winter months. And literally, honestly, if it's not the facial expressions that these things pull, it's the noise they make whilst they're doing it. The kids, I was on the phone to a friend, and the kids came out and so they're going, "Daddy, what are the tortoises doing?" So I was, oh my goodness!
Just playing, darling.
There's no way you can describe that as a special cuddle. Let's put it that way.
yes, that's it.
Yes, well put. Special cuddle. I'll remember that.
Well, listen,
That's what we all call it.
It's been brilliant that you're coming on the show. And you're in Richmond, aren't you? Your surgery's in Richmond?
Yes. So I've got I practice at Richmond, St Margaret's and Old Isleworth. So yeah, lovely places to live and work, and great eclectic mix of people. So it's all good.
Please come back and see us soon.
I'm in South West London,
please.
so I shall come and see you with my doggies.
Oh, please do, and bring your puppies anytime.
I will. That's what you
Which
say
puppies
to
are
all
you
the
talking
girls.
about, darling?
I do.
Which puppies are you talking about?
Well, Anthony and all I won't define, but it's been so lovely to meet you all. It's so wonderful to always hang out with a bunch of animal lovers and very good looking ladies. So thank you.
Oh,
stop.
I love you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, Scott. Bye.
Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love.
Oh, he's
I'm in
lovely.
love.
We
I'm in
like
love.
Scott.
There you go.
Aren't you sad you're not still living in Richmond, Sherry?
Oh, I know. And of course, my restaurant was in Richmond. I could have just nipped down the road, Tim.
So who's coming in now, Sherry? We do have another guest in the nest.
Yes, so I mean, I would, if I was in Richmond, I would nip down and see Scott and offer him some of my sausages.
Please don't
The other way
start, Sherry.
round, I say. But anyway, much more importantly now than sausages is my old mate, the wonderful actress, now producer, Terry Dwyer.
Yay!
Hi,
Terry.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. Well, we had our world premiere of Break on Wednesday evening, and unfortunately, the hosting company went into administration 4 working days before the event.
No.
So we have had to build a whole premiere from the ground up in 4 days. So this is why I look like this.
The premiere
Fabulous.
was Brent Cross Shopping Centre car park.
It was a
Which
North
is amazing.
I know. Did you see I had this red ball gown on? So
Yes.
I was, it's perception. So it was, I mean, we were going to have our West End premiere, which is every actress's dream really. And that was supposed to happen in April. And then obviously COVID struck. So we then moved it to August, and then the independent cinema that we were going to premiere through, he just said, Terry, I don't even know if I'm going to be open in October. He said, because we can't, well, he only has 2 screens, and he said, we can't actually open and adhere to social distancing. So all of a sudden we had no premiere. and also, I know. So we then decided to do it as a drive-in.
But I think that's the most exciting,
idea.
glamorous, different thing to do.
So Terry, tell us about the film. I know it's called Break. I know you're a producer. I know you're in it. So tell us about it. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, Break is, it's like Rocky with a snooker cue. So it's about a kid on the rough side of the tracks. He lives on a council estate. He's dealing drugs. His best friend gets stabbed. but he's a really, really gifted snooker player. So it's an inspirational film. It's about people that are born into a particular environment, and they have all these negative influences around them, and being able to break away from it to still fulfill your potential. So it's an inspirational story, and we've got our first review, which is 4 stars.
Fabulous review.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Terry, how did you come across the script? How did it all happen?
Well, the writer-director Michael Elkin actually approached me to be in it. I play the lead's mum, Kathy, and we just got on really, really well. And I'd done a little bit of producing before that, and he just said, "Would you consider producing it?" So I thought, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'll give it a go. I'll give
Yeah.
it a go. And that's what I did. And then I took it as far as I could go. And then I brought a friend of mine on, Dean Fisher, who's a really experienced producer. And he's done, I don't know, 10 or 11 movies. And I knew that he'd teach me how to produce and not let me just be a producer in name only. And boy, has he taught me. I got all the rubbish jobs.
What was the feeling like? Have you often wanted to produce in this way before? And what was it like to suddenly, I mean, to be honest, it's all our dream to be in something and to produce it. It's an absolutely brilliant thing you've done. But have you always wanted to do that? Seen beyond your own career as an actress and had a bigger vision?
I'd like to say yes, and it was well thought out, but absolutely not.
Very honest.
Yeah, no, but you know what I have realised? It's something I love. I love people. I love overcoming obstacles, which is what producing is. And actually on break, we had lots because we raised the money, we lost the money. And then during the production, you know, a lot of problems during production, which I've never experienced before. And then we tried to release, and there was a pandemic. And then this time we try and release again, and the company go into administration. So, I mean,
hashtag learning curve.
Yeah, but then on the premiere, we got stuck on the motorway for 2 hours. So we got there late, but our catering was stuck. So at 5:30, we had no booze and food. So I was in Tesco's shopping, panic buying, in case the caterers didn't turn up. And I was thinking, when did my bloody life get this glamorous?
It's the most brilliant story. You couldn't make it up. It's a film in itself.
It really is.
It just makes you realise when you are a producer, because I've produced quite a few things as well, how easy it is that we have it as actors, even though we don't, obviously, but we do, because we just turn up, say the lines, and don't trip over the furniture. But producing,
it's a different kind, because I think as an actress, as we all know, it's an emotional thing, isn't it? So it's difficult if you're spending all day getting beaten up or crying. But I think on a producing level, it's the practical side. I mean, you know, I then had half an hour to get ready for the red carpet, and I'm going down the red carpet thinking, oh my God, is the food going to be ready? Are we going to have enough booze?
Exactly.
Normally you have months to plan a premiere, and when you do it so quickly, that there are always problems that are going to occur because you've just not had the planning. But to be fair, I think we were lucky and we got away with it. The atmosphere was phenomenal. The press have just been amazing. I mean, we got GMB, we got ITV News, which I did the next day. We've been in the Mail, the Sun.
Fabulous.
Has that really lit the taper and whetted your appetite for more?
Well, I'm producing, my next project's a trilogy, and we're I daren't say it out loud, but we are nearly there. So hopefully
we're all very happy to be in it also.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Older women, any parts of older women
for us.
Well, it's a Jurassic Park meets Predator. So
That's us. We are Jurassic Park.
We're not dinosaurs, are we?
I can be a monster, Terry. I can be a monster.
I don't believe that. You're far too beautiful to be a monster.
Can we just mention your lead in your film, Sam? Because
amazing.
I watched the trailer, and just from the trailer, I think he's incredible.
Sam, the writer-director, actually, Michael, approached Sam years ago. And I think Sam was never quite sure, I think, if it was ever going to get off the ground, because it's been spoken about. But Sam is going to be a massive star. He's going to be a huge star.
Wow.
He's so charismatic, and when you're in a scene with him, he's very natural, really natural, which I love.
See that?
I think that works really well on film, doesn't it? But he's a beautiful human being. So I wish him every success. Yeah.
You know what it was, Terry? In that trailer, there was no feeling sorry for himself. Do you know what I mean? There was no kind of, oh, I've been a drug addict and I've got to get, you know, there was none of that. It was so, it was just so real. And I believed him from the second I saw him, and that's quite rare, isn't it?
It is, and actually, as a producer, when I was watching him on screen, you were just mesmerised by him because he facially. There are some actors that you only have to look at their face. They don't even need to be saying anything, and you know straight away what they're trying to tell you. And he's just one of those actors. I mean, Sam will have some big news soon. Not that I can talk about it, but and not with us. Sadly,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing with him that came across. You couldn't see any acting involved.
No,
there was no big A. There was no acting. He was just you believe him from that.
That is it.
That's amazing when you
But
see
we
that.
were really lucky because Luke Mabley is a wonderful actor. He played Terry, which is his dad.
Yeah.
We had Jamie Foreman, who
you
know, BAFTA winner Adam Deacon, and then the late Rutger Hauer.
I know.
Oh. So Break was Rutger's last film.
You're amazing, and you're so passionate. You can feel the passion from here. And I haven't actually met you before, but I just know how successful you are and going to be, and you're having the most amazing career, and it's all down to you and the way you do things. And so many of my friends have got daughters or granddaughters who want to be presenters or go into be producers. What would you say? Is there any advice you could give to people now coming into the industry?
That is a really, really good question. Do you know what somebody said? And I know we've probably all heard this: be nice to the people on the way up.
Yeah, you don't have to make them on the way down.
Yeah. In fact, Jeremy Edwards, who played my husband in Hollyoaks, he was at the premiere, and we did an interview together, and he said, thing is about Terry makes friends everywhere. And what I've realized is when you're in the position that we found ourselves with Break, I'd never really asked people to pay back because that's not why I do it. But when you're in a position where you actually have to, I've been really overwhelmed by the love and support that people I've known for a long time have showed me. So actually just be kind to people, but most of all, you've got to really love what you do because it's a really brutal industry, and you've got to have real tenacity to still be here.
And more so now, Terry, when our business has been destroyed completely.
I know.
And, you know, there's no work for anyone, especially the young ones coming. That's what I loved about your film, because there's so many young ones. And I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to get a job. But the only thing I always say is just think out of the box, like you're doing. Be creative. Think what you could do with this.
Yeah, Terry, what's next for you?
Without sitting around waiting for the bloody phone to ring.
What's next for you?
Well, today, the glamour of producing, I'm driving to Sheffield to put posters up.
Yes,
because we have a drive-in event at Don Valley Stadium on the 1st and 2nd of August.
Oh, wow.
And this is how we're releasing our film. So because of the state of the cinema, we are releasing our film through drive-in cinemas. So we have the 1st and 2nd at Don Valley Stadium. We have the 15th and 16th at Cheltenham. And the last two events, which is why I was on the phone to Hexham Please, we're just going through we're going through getting the licensing in, because what people don't understand, the producing side, which yes, of course you need to get your project, your actors, but there's lots of paperwork. I mean, when the company went, the hosting company of our premiere, you have to produce all these COVID documents, risk assessments, and you know that's why you've got to love what you do. So to answer your question, I'm releasing Break through August, then it'll hit home entertainment on the 31st, and then hopefully we'll be greenlit and I'll go straight onto the trilogy. So it's busy.
Well,
fantastic.
Well,
Congratulations.
Well done.
Congratulations.
We're very proud of you, and we're very available.
And it's been so fabulous talking to you, Terry. Will you come back and see us? Will you please come back?
Absolutely.
And I promise
Terry. I have more makeup on next time.
So will we.
Don't share your makeup secrets with us too.
Well, you all look so glamorous, and I'm here with my mascara on, and that's it.
We've been doing an all-nighter with the makeup, darling. That's why.
Well, it's working.
Oh, thank
lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you
See
too.
you.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Bye.
Speak soon. Bye.
What positivity, energy, creativity.
I know.
I mean,
we
so
need all of
exciting.
that now.
Inspirational.
We all need
I
to be
honestly
like
think, have you been watching, Stage that Dee was talking about?
Yeah.
Was produced by Georgia Tennant, David Tennant's wife. Now, she's
right.
also got another project that she's producing, again on Zoom, and it's really, really interesting. This is a new medium that's coming up that we're actually doing ourselves, girls.
Exactly. Thanks to you. Listen,
Absolutely.
tomorrow we are here
Yes.
with Richard Arnold.
Yeah.
Woo!
What are we doing with Richard Arnold?
With dogs, you were going to say.
Dogs.
Doggies,
How could I
doggies.
forget? Dogging with Richard Arnold.
Bring your dog. Bring your dog, everybody.
That's right.
I don't think many people could say they've been
Animals.
dogging with Richard Arnold, could they?
Yes.
Oh, right. Goodbye.